Family Group Number 4 presents Hansel and Gretel, The Aftermath, the story of a love lost too soon. As we all know, after Hansel pushed Gretel into the oven at the witch's candy cottage, he went on to have a very successful career in male modeling in New York, the city that never sleeps. At an after-party after winning VH1's Model of the Year, Hansel reunited with the witch from the woods, Elphaba, who had recently done a stint in the Land of Oz. One cool October morning, Hansel arrived at Elphaba's row home with a full day of adventures planned. Knowing that Elphaba had a soft spot for caged animals, he took her to the Bronx Zoo, New York's most popular zoo attraction. As they walked past the lion's exhibit, the roar of the lion startled Elphaba, and she clutched Hansel's hand. He clutched back, and suddenly, fear was not the emotion Elphaba felt. The feelings only grew stronger when Hansel took her to Central Park for a little ice skating. As they glided on the frozen surface, Elphaba reminded Hansel that she couldn't fall because water would melt her. He laughed kindly, looked deep into her eyes, and said, "I would never let you fall." The piercing blue of his eyes sent her heart racing, and as they walked away from the rink, she knew that he never would. As they were walking through the park, suddenly one of the Central Park turkeys spotted them from a distance. The turkeys, known for their cantankerous nature and general rudeness, frequently harassed visitors and occasionally murdered them. The turkey approached, raising its tail feathers and clawing the ground with its talons. Elphaba had never seen such a terrifying sight. "Save me!" she called to Hansel. Hansel bravely stepped in front of Elphaba and, looking the turkey directly in the surprisingly angry eyes, raised his scooter above his head and shouted, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!" Awed by the display of manliness, the once feared Central Park turkey became Hansel's fierce ally, Battle Turkey. Now, with the threat of the turkey subdued, Hansel turned and faced Elphaba, who was at once exhausted from their encounter with the turkey and invigorated by the display of strength from Hansel and his scooter. She knew in that moment that she was in love. Without warning, Hansel was met by Friedrich, the beloved brother of his old flame, Gretel. Friedrich yelled at the top of his lungs, "Hansel, I will make you pay for what you did to my sister!" Friedrich pulled an Arabian blade from his invisible scabbard and charged at Hansel. Hansel quickly flipped over the charging foe and escaped. Friedrich pursued but stopped short when he saw what approached. Hansel came flying in on the back of Battle Turkey, dropping an egg bomb on the evil, though justified, Friedrich. Sadly, Friedrich did not survive the encounter. Let's see that again. Famished from yet another hostile interaction, Hansel and Elphaba scooted to the famous tent restaurant, where they enjoyed a wonderful feast by the light of a menorah and a dreidel chandelier, in honor of Elphaba's Jewish heritage. As they dined safely indoors, little did they know that an earthquake near the Canary Islands had started a wave that had grown across 1,000 miles of ocean, and it was bearing down on them. When they heard the rumbling of the wave approaching, they rushed outside. Elphaba reached for her broom and began to make her escape from a wet, sloppy death. The wave came pouring through Times Square, drowning hundreds of pedestrians and crushing hundreds more. Just as Elphaba passed the second floor of one of the many high-rises, a pipe burst from the extraordinary pressure from the tidal wave, basting the poor witch in a foaming flow of fatal fluid. Her body and face began to disintegrate almost instantly. Sadly, Hansel scooped what he could of his lost love into a Nalgene he was carrying, turned, and scooted off into the sunset.